What is going on, YouTube? AntiBrock here with a brand new review in over a year? Has it been a year? Has it truly been a year? Has it been that long? Whew. It has been a long year. I practically got shut out of my YouTube account, so that explains the lack of videos. And yeah, I couldn't for the life of me remember how to get back in, and it was just a crap ton of bad, let's put it that way. But I am back with a new review. Today we're going to be looking at a very special figure. As you can see here, we are looking at the signature collection from DC. We are looking at Atrocitus. This is a MandyCollector.com exclusive. Same lines with the Ocean Master, the Huntress, the Poison Ivy, all those figures you can only get at MandyCollector.com. I, for one, actually got this off of eBay because he was actually sold out on Mandy Collector, and I found him for a very good price. We're talking Atrocitus, who happens to be my favorite Green Lantern character. Love Atrocitus. Saw that they came out with this figure, needed to have it. Went on eBay. This guy was ranging around from 50 to 60 bucks. I was like, no way. But then I ran into one eBay seller who was selling him for $30. That was something I couldn't pass up on. It was cheaper because the box that he came in had some damage and wear done to it. And I was like, he's coming out of the package anyway, so it doesn't matter. But here we have the standard white mailer box that all the DC Signature Collection figures come in. These are the kind of boxes they used to do with Masters of the Universe Classics, if you ordered anything off of there. But yeah, pretty cool. And then we pop this sucker open at the top here. There's going to be a little tab. And bear with me for a second. Yeah. And there's nothing inside, because Atrocitus is right there. Booyakasha. Anyway, the package here, we have the DC Signature Collection. It's empty, of course, with the name of the character at the bottom there. On the side here, we have pretty cool artwork drawing of Atrocitus, with blood pretty much just shooting out of his mouth. I mean, it's a standard with Red Lanterns. You know, you meet a Red Lantern, it's like, hey, how's it going? Shoot, burning, boiling blood at you. You're like, that good, huh? Then on the back here we have the same picture of Atrocitus, which is a really cool picture, by the way. And then with a read up, if you want to pause it to read it now, as long as that glare doesn't get in your way. And on to the figure, which I really love. This is one of the better Green Lantern figures from DC UC. I'm surprised this guy didn't come out when they did the Green Lantern Classics. The wave that gave us Star Sapphire, Black Hand, all those characters. Really surprised we didn't see him. You know, he's been a long time baddie of the Green Lanterns, but you know what? He's a great character. If you read the New 52 Red Lanterns, Atrocitus is such a good character. But this figure does not do him justice. I mean, it's that good. Let's put it that way. Atrocitus has a standard red paint on the chest, a little bit darker red in the boots. That same red carries over onto his wrist gauntlets here. But then on his head and shoulder piece, as well as his belt and his ring, he sports a more metallic red finish, which I find is pretty cool. I actually think it brings out the figure a lot more. One of my favorite details is actually the ring itself, and I'm not sure how well it's going to come out on camera. I highly doubt it is. See, unlike the other figures where it would usually just be a blotch of paint to kind of indicate that's the ring, they actually took the time to sculpt the Red Lantern logo onto this ring here, and it does look really good. As far as articulation goes, his head, my figure in particular cannot really rotate his head. I tried, and it kind of pulled this part out. As you can see here, the glue kind of came loose. So this part's a little loose because I tried to turn the head. I'm not so sure. I think it's just really stiff, but I don't want to risk pulling this whole thing off and having to glue it back, because I just don't like that. And I've been through a lot of that this year, and I'll get into that in later videos, I'll tell you that. I also want to point out that his face is awesome. His sculpt is just perfect. I like that they went with the open jaw, because that just makes the most sense. Angry all the time. He's got rows of sharp teeth, and they're painted very nicely. It's not just pure white. We actually have some gray to bring it out a little more. He's got the beady yellow eyes, and just all the detail, just to show how pissed off this guy is awesome. His arms are on a ball joint. They do get hindered by his shoulder piece. However, they don't get hindered too much, considering this is a very soft, pliable plastic, and unless you pop this off, they can fully rotate. It's not really, you know, this isn't a hard plastic where it's going to really hinder it that much. He does have a rotation in the bicep here. He's got a single joint in the elbow, rotation in the wrist. He's got the standard DCUC ab crunch. He's got waist rotation, which is really nice. His legs are on that DCUC crouch joint, where they go out, forward and back. It's got rotation in the upper thigh, a bend in the knee, and then a articulation in the ankle. So very, very nice articulation. Basic DCUC articulation on this guy. And the one accessory that Atrocitus comes with is his red lantern. And it's also a very nice sculpt with that same metallic red that we saw on his chest and belt. He has closed fists, which is unfortunate because he can't hold it. So to my knowledge, he's the only red lantern that can't really hold it, especially the way the lantern itself is sculpted. If my camera would like to focus. But it's still very nice, and it will still look good displayed next to him, unfortunately, since you can't really, you know, display him holding it, unfortunately. Alright, in size comparison, I have him here with the new 52 DC Collectibles Hal Jordan. Now, this isn't the single package one. This is the one that came with the We Can Be Heroes Justice League set. But you know what? If you take Atrocitus and you kind of stand him up all the way, the scale is not that bad. Jordan is a little bit taller than him. Not by much. It's pretty hard to tell, actually. But I think the scale is good enough. And they actually fit together because of like the paint scheme on both figures, the metallic red, the metallic green. I think they go well together. Also, not to mention that Atrocitus' costume didn't really see a change at all from, you know, comics before to New 52. He pretty much stayed the same. So you could still mix these two up. We haven't gotten a DCUC New 52 Green Lantern yet, but for what it is, I think this is a decent scale. People were complaining that Atrocitus wasn't buff enough. This is actually the perfect build for Atrocitus. This is how big he is in the comics. If you want super buff, we're talking Green Lantern the Animated Series status. And unless the Batman animated series DCUC or DC Collectibles line is super successful and we get Justice League figures, maybe down the line we'll get Green Lantern. Who knows? But this is what we have for now, and I think this is a great figure. Now, unfortunately, Atrocitus is sold out in Matty Collector, but if you can find him for a reasonable price on eBay or a site that has this guy, I say he's worth the pickup. If you're a Green Lantern fan and you need an Atrocitus and you don't want to pick up the Blackest Night DC Direct one, this guy I think I like more because of the articulation options you can do with him, and just the overall sculpt I like more. And I mean, it's DCUC. I just prefer them over DC Direct, or DC Collectibles, unless DC Collectibles is dishing out, you know, Batman Arkham figures. Other than that, it's a great figure. It's worth the pickup. If you're a Red Lantern fan, you need an Atrocitus to lead your corpse. No! And that's all it takes to defeat the great Atrocitus. Anyway, guys, this is Brock. Today I was looking at the DC Universe Signature Collection from MattyCollector.com. I was looking at Atrocitus, one of my favorite DC characters Next to Bane, I love Atrocitus. With blooded rage of crimson red, ripped from a corpse so freshly dead, together with our hellish hate, we'll burn you all, that is your fate. I'm so alone. Anyway, guys, subscribe to my channel if you're new. I've got plenty of figure reviews coming along. Come check out, my older videos. Go see the shitty camera quality I used to have. Let me know if you want to see re-reviews too, if you like them enough. But yeah, subscribe, like the video. Tell me what you think. What do you think of Atrocitus? And if you're a Red Lantern, what would you be? You don't even have to answer that. I'm just trying to make conversation. Anyway, guys, until next time.